New Jersey.
Mr. President, first of all, I appreciate my colleague's offer, and certainly we will take him up on it to have a discussion to see where we come to common cause, because this issue is far more important than anyone's ideological view. So I look forward to working with him and others who are concerned. Let me just, however, say there are some inconsistencies. If you do not believe that there should be a disease-specific reauthorization, then the CR does exactly that. It will, for a more limited time, but it will, in fact, reauthorize this bill, but only to November 18th. So whether that debate is now about reauthorizing a disease-specific allocation, or whether, which is what I was trying to accomplish, or whether in the CR, I would assume that the thinking will go that my colleagues will object to the CR under the basis that it has a disease-specific reauthorization for a much smaller period of time until November 18th. I'm not quite sure how the logic follows at the end of the day. Secondly, I think it is rather cruel to have an analogy that talks about loan guarantees to some energy entity and talking about autism and families. And when I hear the word lobby, of course, that creates a pejorative description. What's the lobby here? Lobby here are parents, American citizens, husband and wives, taxpayers who advocate for their children before their representatives. Now, I thought in a representative democracy that citizens have the right to go and advocate with their elected representatives for a point of view, even if admittedly that point of view is on behalf of the welfare of their child. So I really have a problem when I hear in this context the word lobby as if it is a negative, when a parent is simply trying to accomplish, and a universe of parents in our country who pay taxes are simply trying to accomplish getting the government's attention to a disease that afflicts their children and their ability to be able to function in this society to the full maximum potential that their God-given abilities give them. So I really don't care for listening to about a lobby here. Last time I checked, this is what democracy is all about. Now, finally, I would just simply say that there is no guarantee. I know my colleagues suggest that there is a guarantee that research into autism will continue. There is no guarantee of that. There's no guarantee of that. And the reason why I objected to the other unanimous consent by my colleague from Oklahoma is that, in fact, what we have is a set of circumstances that there would be, if you read that unanimous consent, would be a diminution of funds at the end of the day. So you either believe in a disease-specific reauthorization, which, you know, to some degree would be allowed, but then you take away all the funds. The whole reason this legislation came to be was to coordinate the very efforts of the federal government together to, in essence, meet the challenge of autism. Now, even when we listen to disease-specific legislation and the opposition to disease-specific legislation, I would emphasize that while the name would suggest this is only about autism, this improves services for children with many different developmental disorders and conditions, from autism, yes, but Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, spina bifida, intellectual disabilities, epilepsy. So it is a program that involves a number of efforts broadly based to prevent and detect and improve the health infrastructure for all children who might face any of these developmental disabilities, not just autism. Every year, this program trains thousands of professionals to better care for individuals with a broad range of developmental disabilities, including but not limited to autism spectrum disorders. And given the long waiting list that families often endure to receive diagnostic and treatment services, these programs are essential in addressing an urgent national health need. So, Mr. President, I don't quite understand the opposition. It boggles my mind. You're against disease-specific legislation, even though this has passed here by voice vote in the past, even though this passed unanimously out of the committee, even though a disease-specific provision will be in the CR, which I assume you would oppose if you don't want legislation to move forward, and then you tell families that they're lobbyists and they have no right to lobby, we shouldn't listen to their voices, and then you say that there will be, don't worry, there'll be money for research when there is no guarantee. That's cruel, in my view, and there's no reason for it. And I would only hope that we can have a change of heart here so that we can have families who have an incredible challenge and who love their children and want to do everything they can to help them fulfill the maximum of their potential to be able to do so. That's what we've done for several years now under this legislation. My God, if we can't get things like this passed, I don't know where we're headed to in the Senate. But I hope for a better day, and I'm going to continue and insist until we achieve this, Mr. President. And with that, I yield the floor.